Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shabbat AHBAD from GMS YAHAWAH, GMS St. Petersburg, Florida. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, by HASHEM, YAHAWASHI, by HASHEM, Kadash. Double honors to my elder apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Sing an honor salutation to all you sincere brothers that's constantly pushing the word of truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. I also want to say peace and blessings to all the sincere men, women, and children that consist of the body of Yahawah, and also the 1/3, and also peace and blessings to all your confusion faces in the four corners of the earth. Yeah, I was just reading this article, and I just wanted to hit a few key points real quick. Nothing major. Just looking at how Russia, all right, is basically the #1 country in the world that's Salakia, that's really rich or lucrative when it comes to natural resources. Because think about it, all the products that people buy out of these department stores or offline, your clothes, your food, of course, your jewelry, your PlayStation, even the gas inside of your car, all of these things are naturally occurring elements. So when you're looking at Russia, all right, if you're looking at the title, by the way, it says Russia's $75 trillion in resources is why sanctions are impossible. Because when you're thinking about America, not America, well, Russia's pretty much #1 when it comes to rare minerals. All right, when you go into the word mineral, it goes back into mining, so that means that you have to go into the earth, and they're #1 in distributing in that. And looking at this, it says the country with the largest mineral reserves in the world, Russia, is the second top exporter of rare earth materials. Its natural resources are estimated at tens of trillions of dollars. Okay, it has abundant supplies of oil, natural gas, timber, and valuable minerals such as copper, diamonds, lead, zinc, bauxite, if I'm not mistaken, nickel, tin, mercury, gold, and silver. Most of these resources are located in Siberia and the Far East. I'm just gonna keep reading. I know I want to get a few key points, but just bear with me real quick. Russia's mining industry, which is the country's second largest after oil and gas, accounts for a significant share of its GDP and exports. Okay, and like I said, you use copper and diamonds, but people, people always claim they out here getting married foolishly. Don't know why. They say diamonds are a girl's best friend. They use copper and wiring. Copper pipes. Lead for #2 pencils and other type of tools out there. Nickel, tin, so that you can cut. In other words, cut some metals or enforce some metals. Mercury, gold, and silver. Even gold and silver are known as conduits that you would use in wiring. Okay, and I think the best conduit in the world is gold, which is why they like for a lot of people to recycle their phones so they can get the metals out of it and the hardware. But anyways, going right here, it says the country is among the top 3 producers of mineral commodities such as platinum, gold, and iron ore. It is also the world's largest producer of diamonds and palladium. Alright, the Ural Mountains have vast amounts of minerals, while most deposits of coal, oil, gas, and timber are located in Siberia. So right now, Russia really is in the forefront when it comes to natural resources, because in order for you to have goods, you have to have a significant source of natural resources, which is why it is rather foolish for all of these countries to want to drop the dollar, because you're going to have to literally have to reset the entire world economy, because the entire world economy is run off of what? The petrodollar. So now you will have to create new financial avenues where you can actually do more transactions and you can do more international commerce, so to say, and to do a big transition from the dollar to, let's say, gold, so to say, or the ruble, or whatever the currency is for whatever country. That's going to be a big factor, knowing now you have to change the pricing, the labeling of certain goods, and also of certain of certain natural minerals and things like that. But it just goes to show you the power that Russia has when it comes to Not just the military, because they have power because of their nukes, but look at the landmass of Russia too. And the most valuable thing you can have on Earth, I would say second, is natural resources, because the most valuable product on Earth is men, the souls of men, the laborer. The lower class that actually keeps the what's what I'm looking for, keeping the mechanical components of America constantly running, or should I say the world. It's those people who are bagging your groceries at the store, stocking your shelves, even the ones that's driving and distributing the goods to your store. But to have this vast amount and to be in the top three of almost all these categories in natural resources, it goes to show why Russia will be a threat, let alone how they also had nuclear weapons at the same time America had their nuclear weapons when they dropped the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. But nonetheless, though, it says Russia is the world's fifth largest producer of coal, which with reserves of about 175 billion tons. Man, that's vast. I don't even know how they measure and weigh all that. Most of those mines are in Siberia and Urals. The timber industry, which is worth about 20 billion annually, is also a significant economic contributor to the Russian economy. The country's fishing industry is the fourth largest in the world. So Russia's like always in the top five, And now you have the BRICS, which is an acronym for the new and up and coming IMF. IMF stands for International Monetary Fund. The BRICS becoming the new powerhouse when it comes to the international market, having another, what's the word I'm looking for, alternative to doing international transactions using your own currency or gold or natural resources, rather than having to use the petrodollar. If you can understand what I'm saying, right? Because oil is the what they call it, black gold. That's that liquid gold. That's what oil is, because everything's running off of oil and coal. But anyways, it says the timber industry. I read that, Salakia. The value of Russia's resources is huge. In accordance to statistics, it is estimated at $75 trillion. In comparison, the U.S. natural resources are worth approximately $45 trillion, while China stands at $23 trillion. So right now, Russia's like almost doubling their, I would say not GDP, but their natural resource estimated comparison when it comes to the value of it. America's at 45, Russia's at 75. If they had 10 trillion more, they'll be like almost over 40% over the United States. And then China has 23, and now you have Russia and China merging the economy, so to say. So if you just add the 75 with the 23, what do you have there? You have, what, 98 trillion. And then you have other neighboring countries, like, look at this. Putin trade between, it says trade between Russia and India will reach 30 billion by 2025. Now, for us in the ministry, we know that America and the heathen country, the other countries, they don't have much time before YAHAWASHI come back. But it's just the thought that they're venturing away from America. All right, and this is right here is, I think this is Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. I don't have any of these social media platforms except for YouTube. And it says signing S-400 deal and defying U.S. Who's that? Putin heads to New Delhi to meet Indian Prime Minister. Right. So it's not looking too good for America right now. And even you have Morgan Stanley, which is a financial support corporation or financial services corporation. In other words, gives advice on trading and advice on where you should invest your money. This is what they said the first day of this year. Avoid U.S. stocks. Emerging markets is where to put your money in 2019. And what are those emerging markets? Let's go back to the acronym BRICS. All right, which is an alternative to the IMF. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and they have other countries who may not be a part of the G20 summit. Not G20. So like I was saying, and you have other countries who are also joining BRICS, so to say. So looking at this, it's not looking too good for America, which is also known as Babylon the Great. The whore that rides on the beast, the golden cup filling with all abominations. All right, that's America. All right, this is the only place in the world you can come here and do whatever you want, whatever your heart's desire. All right, you're allowed to do it. All right, because that's what they promote here. Understand? But bear with me real quick. It says stocks in the emerging markets have had a rough year, but are tipped to it for a turnaround, according to Morgan Stanley. Let's get to a few points here. Where is it at? Many investors withdrew from emerging markets throughout 2018 and bought more assets in the U.S. due to a spike in bond yields. All right, that would change, says Morgan Stanley. All right, within the emerging market space, I'm just jumping around. Bear with me. Within the emerging market space, Morgan Stanley's key overweight countries are Brazil, Thailand, Indonesia, India, Peru, and Poland. The bank classes Mexico, the Philippines, Colombia, Greece, and the United Arab Emirates as underway. Now, what does that mean? In other words, you got to think about certain things that's happening right now, even politically, even through the military. Here it is. You have Vladimir Putin flew a nuclear bomber over to Venezuela. America didn't like that. All right, they flown over the over Alaska a few times in the past couple of years, being escorted by fighter jets via American Air Force and the Canadian Air Force. And then I believe I forgot where, somewhere down in the Caribbean, they actually placed another bomber there, you know, which is very close to America. And also China, he was even talking about helping Brazil. Was it Brazil? Yeah, I believe it was Brazil or Venezuela, and actually put in money. So, in other words, Russia and China are putting in money over in places, like I said, them underdogs, man. Like Brazil, Thailand, Indonesia, India, Peru, and Poland, man. All right, and you know what? They're gonna be backed by a higher power, which is what Russia and China and all the other allies. Because now India is starting to be a partaker of they've been a partaker of, but we're starting to be a partaker of dumping the American dollar, you know, and starting to deal with their own currency. All right, but nonetheless, though, I just want to pull out one precept since I made my few points that America, mystery whore Babylon, is circling down the drain financially. It's over. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 verse, let's start at 8. It says, it's like it. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? America, Lady Liberty, right? Lady Liberty, right? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. America cannot be healed. For one, it's already defiled by the inhabitants thereof, because they don't keep the land Sabbath, and they don't also keep the moon Sabbath, and they also have the Most High's children here in bondage, and they also defiled the land by the inhabitants known as the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. So there's no way America is gonna ever bounce back from what they've done. Okay, because vengeance belongs to the Lord, and He loves judgment, and heavy judgment is coming to America. Right now, it's financially. Verse 9, we will have healed Babylon, America, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So, you know, in other words, they're just pulling out. You know, a lot of people, they're not even considering America anymore, despite the fact you have these caravans, quote unquote, which is being run by George Soros, or people from Central America, the Zebulonites, who are Israelites, coming to America by the influx. It was about 3 years ago, you actually had Issachar, right, so-called Mexicans moving back to Mexico, because they said it was easier and it was better for them to dwell in Mexico than it was here in America, man. So like I say, man, they like to control the narrative, but it's not looking too good here for the people living here in America, man. All right. And this is, and America gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear warheads. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. And I've done a video, and the elders done videos before, that the Medes goes back to the ancient area which today is known as Russia. Okay, because when it speaks about the Medes and Persians, you think about Elam, the East Indians, but that part also goes back to them migrating up to Russia. But nonetheless, though, this goes back to the Russians today. For his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. So there's no way America could ever come back, not financially, not morally, alright, and spiritually, not whatsoever. But it is just a video I just wanted to make real quick. I was just thinking about you know, how America is not the powerhouse that it claims to be, but it uses its force. Goes back to the blessing that Esau received, the blessing of the sword and the fatness of the earth, which is why they could never stay at home. You know, I always had that military in every other country. But nonetheless, though, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, by Hashem, YAHAWASHI, by Hashem, Rachah, Kadash. Double honors to my elder apostles of Great Millstone, seeking underside station to all your sincere brothers. Peace and blessings to the 1/3. Peace and blessings to all the confusion faces out there in the four corners of the earth. With that being said, Shalom.